Welcome back to Sportsbook Review Videos. It is already the end of the week, which means it is time to dive into week number 7 spreads and totals with my guy, Swingy Johnson. Now, Swinger, last week I nailed a pair of picks while yet again you fell to 1-1. Those darn totals, we'll get to those in a minute, but you nailed your spread pick last week. So this is obviously the most important one. So what do you got for us here for week number 7?
All right. Well, caveat here. I am 43-0 on sides and 0-16 on totals. So yeah, Jordan. I am taking a look
Realistic
at
goals. Realistic goals here we have.
That's right. That's right. Jordan, I'm taking a look at this Bucks Redskins affair. Looking at a Tampa Bay team that actually got their first home victory in almost 2 years. Can you imagine that? In almost 2 years in Week 5. Now, granted, that win did come at the expense of the Jacksonville Jaguars, but a win is a win, and to put 38 points on the board against any team in the NFL is a feat. Obviously, Jameis Winston is still a wild card. He's thrown as many touchdowns as he has interceptions, but, to be fair, he's only 5 games into his NFL career. He's got enormous potential. Whether that actually comes to manifest, we don't know, but nevertheless, Bucks have had 2 weeks to figure out what they did right on offense, which was mainly watch Doug Martin run roughshod over the Jags with 123 yards and 3 touchdowns. And how can they use that to their advantage over Washington? I love the fact that they've had this 2-week rest. Now, here's the thing. Bucks may be on the road, but they get to face a team in the Redskins that I think gives them an excellent opportunity to not only get a cover, but an outright win, because the Redskins are in shambles on so many levels. Offensive line, as well as their defensive secondary, has been injured throughout much of the season, and many believe neither one of those units was all that great to begin with. Now, I'm convinced that the porous offensive line of Washington makes them susceptible to a very good Tampa Bay pass rush that actually ranks 8th in the league with 15 sacks on the season, and that's with only 5 games, not 6, under their belt. So this is going to be a huge problem for Kirk Cousins, who's had many big problems since assuming the starting job from Robert Griffin. But I'm telling you, this Bucks pass rush is going to be a pivotal reason why they win and the Skins lose. Now, meanwhile, Jameis Winston up against a patchwork Washington secondary that's going to give his receivers plenty of open space to roam, because Washington's defensive front is going to have to brace for Doug Martin running over them instead of just going balls to the walls trying to get after Winston. Now, here are some stats to consider quickly. Redskins 0-4 ATS in their last 4 games as a favorite. The Redskins are 5-24 ATS in their last 31 home games versus a team with a losing record like the Tampa Bay Bucks. Redskins 1-7 ATS in their last 8 games after accumulating less than 90 yards rushing in the previous game. On the other hand, Bucks are 9-2 ATS in their last 11 games after scoring more than 30 points in their previous game. Bucks are 4-1 ATS in their last 5 games as an underdog of 3.5-10. In conclusion, Bucks aren't that great, but they're better than the Redskins, even in DC. Play the Bucks +3 and a hook.
Yeah, I think the key to this, couple keys to this one. One is you're obviously getting the half point on the +3 line here. So +3.5, I think, makes this an entirely different ball game. I completely agree with you with your final statement of that the Redskins not that good. Bucks still not got that good either, but definitely better than the Redskins here at this 3.5 dogs. I'm a little worried. I think Doug Martin might not be able to have as much success as he did a couple weeks ago, but the 2 weeks off definitely going to help them out a little bit. Not terribly excited about it, but I think I love where you're going with it here, as definitely starting to convince me as well. I'm going with a play on the game between the Saints and the Colts in this one from Lucas Oil Field here in Indianapolis. The Colts come in as a 4-point favorite. Still, you can get them at 4 points. A couple of books already moving it up to 4.5. I love the 4 number here against the team like the New Orleans Saints, who I think are going to be who are being overvalued by the sportsbooks after their big win against the Atlanta Falcons. Let's be honest here. Nobody in that division in the NFC South plays very well on the road, and the Saints are included in that. They're only 12-17 against the spread on the road since 2012, and even with, I think, the losses that they've experienced this season, I think the Colts here actually are starting to get on track in this one. They're 11-4-1 against the spread in their last 16 home games. That's including 2 ATS losses at home this season. So regardless of the slow start, they've been very, very good historically at home. And I think they're going to continue that trend here against a very porous Saints defense. Andrew Luck should have no problem throwing the ball all over the place. They're starting to get healthier. They're running the ball with much more effectiveness here with Frank Gore. And even though their defense sucks too, it's kind of like your play here, man. Both defenses are not that good. The Saints defense is by far the worst one in this one here. What do you think about the Colts here laying the 4 points?
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned the Colts because there are two favorites that I like this week, and the Colts are one of them, San Diego being the other. And
Mhm.
yeah, I think that the Colts are they're not only they match up well against the Saints, but everybody is absolutely shaking their heads with that abysmal play they pulled last week against the Patriots,
Oh
swinging
yeah, that was
gate
bad.
attempt or whatever you want to call it. But honest to God, it was a nightmare. And this team looks like they're starting to round into form because they really have looked so poor. But you can see them starting to get better. And I think this is a really nice opportunity. I'm with you, man. I am absolutely with you. Colts -4.
Yeah, forget that play last week, guys. The handicapping is a week to week game. Don't let what a team has done cloud your judgment on what a team is going to do. That's the key to this game here, and I think Swinger would agree with me on that. So that'll do it for your spreads here. We'll take a look at some totals as well here. Make sure you check out that video as well. But for Swinging Johnson, I'm Jordan Sharp. Best of luck to you on all your NFL picks this week.